Welcome back to WGLNA Season 2. We're about ready to start match number 2. Match number 1, we saw one of the biggest upsets so far in the history of esports, I have to say, but especially for World of Tanks. Fulcrum Gaming lost their first ever group play game against the number 3 team from Season 1, Wreak Havoc. Congratulations to them. Also, one of the substitutes, or one of the team members of the roster, Hot Frank, said that it was going to be easy against Fulcrum Gaming.
Whoa.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but they did get the win. And again, congratulations to them. But this is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first match, first night. It doesn't mean, that Fulcrum's out in any way. It just means that, hey, we have some other teams that are ready to rival the top team in America.
Well, they have some catch-up to do, because right now, Fulcrum Gaming, 100% loss rate. Stats, baby.
That's our stats, man. Now let's talk about the next two teams as we get the face-off underway here in just a little bit. Just waiting on the team captains to make sure they're ready. Cunninghams versus Bernal Empires. Cunninghams has history in WGLNA. They went up against Fulcrum in the round of 8 in Season 1. They did make it to Vegas, but they lost. And that was one of the first battles, I think, of that event. Mm-hmm. And Cunninghams did go down. It was
swept.
Yeah, it was a 4-0, best of 7. And they're going to be going up against Bernal Empires. They play second in the Major League Championships summer 2013. And because of that placement, they are now in our league. And I want to hear what they have to say. Also, Cunninghams. Let's go ahead and go to our face-off. Hey, Martin, good to see you again, sir, from Cunninghams. And from Bernal Empires, we have G-Forcer. Hey, Martin, I want to start with you. First off, did you watch any of that first battle? Did you watch any of those battles from match number 1 of Fulcrum versus Wreak Havoc?
Bits and pieces. I caught part of steps and ends. That was about it. I know the result, but I don't know. Fulcrum's beatable.
Fulcrum's beatable. That's right. That's right. What about Cunninghams? You guys have been practicing. You've been training hard. How are you feeling about Season 2?
Pretty good. Our last practice went really well. We stomped on Simp pretty good, so we're looking forward to this.
G-Forcer, I want to say welcome to WGLNA Season 2. What did you think about Season 1, and what were your thoughts and feelings being invited to Season 2?
Well, Season 1 was a lot of fun to watch, and we're excited about Season 2. We feel like we can compete with these teams, so.
Right. Compete or crush?
Crush. Well, we kept pretty low profile, so I think we're here to make some waves, hopefully.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your team? How did your team get started? What is your practice regimen like? Do you have any crazy wildcard guys on your team that maybe have some personality that we could look forward to if you come to Vegas?
We definitely got some personality. As for the team, it kind of started back. We had a clan. It was called Riot. That was way back when. Small clan, and then after a while, the activity shut down a little bit. So we were off into various clans, but we stuck together as a team. And so we've been practicing very hard for Season 2. We're still new at this, and so even like the Cliffs map added, we've been working hard on that. And so we're excited.
Hey, Martin, I know you're taking this very seriously. I just talked to you earlier. I know you were powerlifting a little bit. You ran a marathon right before this. And then I just saw you drank a glass of wine. You're texting. How easy is this going to be?
It's going to be pretty easy. We scrimmed them a few times. It was all easy wins,
Yeah, you were telling me that. They're a bunch of scrubs. Don't want to waste my time with them, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think that's the case. G-Forcer, what do you have to say to that?
Well, I just got to say one thing. So everyone knows that the Lowell Tractor is the superior steel clubbing machine over the T1 Cunningham. So just got to say, I hope you're better attorneys than you are at tank selection.
Oh.
I like you, G-Forcer. Welcome to the league. You fit right in.
Hey, why don't you come over to the Rancho Cucamonga studios? We'll have you over while a beer, man.
All right, so the Cunninghams are the higher seed. A. Martin, you'll be the one to call the coin toss, heads or tails.
Sorry, my audio just cut out.
Okay. Can you
too.
hear me now?
Did your mic die?
I hope not. Mine didn't die. Heads or tails, A. Martin?
Heads.
He calls for heads, and it is tails, which means Bernal Empires will be the first to select the map, or they can defer. What do you want to do, G-Forcer?
We would like to defer.
They will defer. Cunninghams, what is your map choice?
Prohorovka.
Prohorovka, again, map number 1. And what will be the spawning position for Bernal Empires?
South, please.
South side. Okay, south side, Bernal Empires of Prohorovka. Cunninghams will take the north. Gentlemen, Best of luck.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey Martin, so funny, man. I know you're concentrating on G-Forcer and just watching him, but the whole time, hey, Martin's like,
I saw him.
and he's just starting to text, and I'm like, oh my god,
He
this
did.
guy,
He did
he's
say
so
it was going to
funny.
be easy, but you know who else said it was going to be easy? Is Azrael90 on Bernal Empires said it's going to be easy up against Cunninghams. Now Bernal Empires has a lot to prove because this is going to be their first official match in WGLNA.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing some ridiculously crazy lineups. The meta had been set in Season 1. Check this out. 2 T-32s, a T-69, and two 1390s on the side for the Cunninghams. Obviously, bringing out those T-32s, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Clutch, what is this? What is this? What is this?
It's the invasion from China.
Don't break your computer.
4 WZ-132s and a T-32. I am impressed with the mobility confidence they have in these tanks that are not autoloaders.
I want you to do something for me, Clutch. Take a look at the guns on some of those WZ-132s. Tell me what it looks like. What gun are they mounting?
All right, let me jump to one.
You got it, because this says so much if they're going to bring 85
It
millimeters.
does not have the muzzle brake.
That's a 100 millimeter cannon right there.
All right.
See if the rest of them have it.
Okay, Revelant is not sporting the muzzle brakes. That's another 100 millimeter.
That's another 100 mil.
Joe Jack is using a 100 millimeter.
100 mil.
And Azrael90 is using a 100 millimeter.
Yes, they shoot APCR. It's a better choice for penetration right now. Those heat rounds, if you're going to run up against certain tanks, you're going to run into some problems.
Wow, and Silent
Silent
Demise
Demise.
taking some hits.
This is something that we can say for sure T-69s cannot do. Oh, yeah, went there. Yeah, T-69s.
Oh, wow. Wow, shots being fired literally and figuratively here on the battlefield as some shots do bring out against T-32. 8 Martin, Silent Demise, and Cops have been spotted on the field so far. But the East versus West is going to be a lot of the battle here as we move into the 8-minute, 10-second mark. A couple shots have been rung out here as Zone Delta 94 on the side of the red team. The red team is going to be Bernal Empires, while the blue team is going to be Cunninghams, A. Martin being the leader, and G-Forcer. He's the one that is sporting the T-32 for the red team.
A couple of nice balances, but I do want to remind you guys that, you know, yes, 2 shots went off on Silent Demise. He's down to 1041 hit points. That's the same amount of hit points, approximately, as a WZ-132. So you can see the HP advantage definitely goes to the Cunninghams. It's just how are they going to use it and how does Bernal Empires use their speed advantage.
Revent in his WZ-132 trying to land another shot against any tanks poking around the corner above those hills here. On the west side, not able to land any shots yet. The 1390, Quanas and Commander J maybe approaching the T1 SBM Hawk, but no, they're going to be leading a little bit way.
They're just so, Commander J is spotted and so close to taking damage. I believe there's a WZ-132 covering the T1s that are in the south portion of the map. They're just sitting in bushes, and Commander J can't quite find them. There's just too much cover. Although Countess is moving up, and I think he's going to find a T1. To his surprise, probably in just a moment. Yeah, he's not looking the right way at all.
SBM Hawk and Rill, those 2 T1s there. He gets a shot landed against him. Commander J trying to push in on the other side behind the hill. SBM Hawk could be scouted, but he's not. Great play by these T1s lighting up all of the blue advancement halfway through the map here down the 4 and 5 line. But one of the closer blue tanks, will he get close? No, he won't get close enough.
How is this possible?
T1s have super awesome camo values, and if you have a camo net on a T1, he can sit in those bushes, and Countess is going to have to get pretty exposed to find that T1.
Oh my goodness.
They're like the Predator in the movie Predator with his camouflage. And Countess, along with the rest of the blue team, are going, come on, kill me! But they're not moving at all. They're completely...
right over here.
I don't think the
completely
Marines
doing a great
here in
job.
this situation realize that they're spotted and that there's the possibility of some Predator action.
They're like, oh, no worries. I'm not getting my 6th sense lit up right now. But it's because they've been lit up the whole time. Is that a word?
That was a blind fire, I think.
I don't know. Comps, the
Whatever.
T-32 takes down Rill in the T1. That was a bit of blind fire.
Yeah, fantastic right there. That is the
Takes him out in the
T-32s
bush.
narrowing down likely positions
Yep.
and then just firing. However, I don't think they've realized they're still spotted.
Joe Jack is leading the charge now. They get Countess. They could Get some shots just across as Azrael 90 is going to be following as well. This is where the WZ-132s can shine against the 1390. Non-stop movement, crashing right into him. Azrael 90 says, I ain't got time to bleed as he moves in behind Joe Jack, getting some shots against A. Martin in that T1.
Ain't nobody got time to bleed. Now moving over the hill yet again, Commander J right around the corner. And there are two pretty healthy tanks, those WZ-132s. Each have a good amount of health left, and Azrael's going to join up.
Comps are going to expose themselves in order to put shots on these WZ-132s. But it looks like G-Forcer and Zone Delta will get side shots because of this.
Yeah, and this is going to be a little bit dicey. WZ-132s are getting mowed down. Revenant now. No, it's going to be Joe Jack is the next priority. Just one shot away, and down he goes. Now Revenant trying to run away, but can he get there? The 1390 is going to track him. Perfect track. Lets the killing blow come out here.
That was great. Comps. Great positional play by the T-32 moving in from the rear, and Comps. And now he does see one remaining WZ-132 on the hill. Zone Delta 94 and G-Forcer, the other ones left alive. They'll be going up against 3 Tier 8 tanks compared to the 2. But the WZ-132 trying to land another hit, and he does. And one shot does ring out, and it's able to hit him. But G-Forcer trying to delay the inevitable. That will be against Zone Delta. Militant 83 gets the kill. G-Forcer now is going to be up against 3 Tier 8 tanks. Just a matter of time as Commander J. Only 290 health points, but he does have enough damage to complete the utter destruction of that T-32 for G-Forcer. Nice play by both teams here, but it was the great positional play.
He can't even get the shot. He's constantly moving his muzzle around, trying to get a shot on these tanks, but he never is able to do so. Down he goes finally to Militant 83, and the Cunninghams crushing through. Some really cute stuff with the WZ-132, but man, if they had 200 extra hit points, I think that would have worked, but they didn't.
Welcome back to WGLNA Season 2 Group Play. I hope you enjoyed that segment about the 1390 of what to bring when it comes to crew skills and equipment.
I enjoyed that facial hair.
Yeah, thank you. I shaved today because I knew this was happening.
No,
it grows back really fast. The ladies love it, but I had to be clean shaven for tonight because I want to look good for you, America.
Hey, but you look good with the hair.
I know.
Don't let anybody tell you that you don't look good with
Nobody has ever told me that.
So why wouldn't you just rock it every single time?
Because it's my choice.
Okay.
I mean, I go for the Superman look, and I go for the Mountain Man look. Lots of different looks. And there's lots of different looks that we're going to see tonight in the different metagaming we've been seeing from these two different teams. And the next map is going to be on Mines, my personal favorite, and I look forward to what they're going to bring here. So let's go ahead and jump into battle number 2 of match number 2, Bernal Empires versus Cunninghams. And Greetorp, what do we have for tanks?
Let's take a look. T-32 again. I mean, the T-32 is loved now.
People listen.
It seems to be the hard counter to T-69s. Yeah. Is what I think the mentality is.
I think so.
As the T-69 was more of a replacement for the T-32 back when 7x42 was in place for the esports scene. So,
well, T-32s on both sides, and of course we have the T-69s, 1390s, and the 5100 is going to be chosen by Bernal Empires instead of having an extra 1390. That's all right. Statistically, I think the AMX 5100 doesn't perform well on this map.
The spread is a little bit wider here from the blue team, which is going to be Cunninghams. Red, constant theme, Bernal Empires. We wanted to go with the red because when you think of red, you think of Bernie. And SPN Hawk, the T1 Cunningham, moving on to the east side. We see a lot of positional play of the T1 Cunninghams to the east because I try to just pretty much shut down any type of movement here. But will we get closer enough to see the other tank that is in that section? Maybe not, as we jump on over to the middle of this section here of the mines area, more to the C4 quadrant, Charlie 4. We see the T-69s just around the corner, where usually we'll see T-32s there sometimes, but the T-32 G-Forcers decided to lead the charge here, close to those rocks, looking over to the water side, not seeing anything yet. But what do we have over on the water side?
Ooh, wow, my bad. We have two, it looks like two 1390s over there. No, a 1390 and a T1 Commander J over here, just making sure that everything is okay. I think it feels like eventually, once they kind of triangulate everybody's position, or all tier 8 positions, they want to actually push Commander J up alongside Bagak and hopefully get a better spotting position a little bit later on. As you can see, is moving up.
On
That's
the
actually
others.
how you're supposed to say his name, by the way.
Okay.
I
Well,
refuse to
Silent
do it, though.
Demise is able to see G-Forcer here. Will G-Forcer get a shot off him? No. Silent Demise will back down.
It's kind of just like a stalemate. Maybe one
Yeah.
of them will get a little greedy and expose himself, and the one that gets greedy, I think, is going to be the one that actually takes the hatch shot. It's not going to be the guy who sits back. That's at least the way I think this is going to play out for the middle. On the northeast, there's two T1s that are within like 200 meters of each other, and I'm waiting for A. Martin to just find that T1. I don't know if it's Real or SBM Hawk. Actually, A. Martin's going to move out, so one of these T1s, there will be a T1 fight in just a second.
Ooh.
A.
Looks
Martin.
like shots are going off. Azrael
Oh, wow.
is under attack.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage here. But so is the T-32 to the side. Countess at the top of the hill is unloading on G-Forcer right now. And his gun elevation, is it enough for him to try to get a hit against the 1390? It is. The 1390 does take a hit, but he's going to back off. That is a significant blow against G-Forcer, who is a bit of a moving wall here in that T-32. And now a bounce, or a miss right now, as Zone Delta 94 tries to move in to save his friend. Another shot that misses from Comps and his T-69 G-Forcer. A little bit lucky here against the blue team, but Militant exposing himself on the right side is being lit up by Joe Jack, and G-Forcer lands a shot against him.
Yep, and they're moving on in. Even Militant getting into position, trying to get some good crossfire onto him, and can he actually get it? No, it doesn't look so, but Joe Jack down to 184 health. It looks
Commander
like-
J down to 108, and he's going to actually finish off Joe Jack.
Wow, that was a blind fire.
Fantastic. There's not much. There's not many places that he could have gone. In the meantime,
Yeah,
a fight has started right below the hill. Silent Demise and Comps focusing down both G-Forcer and Zone Delta. Fight's going to go so much in the favor of Bernal Empires. Cunningham's fantastic recovery from losing their commander, A. Martin, on the east side. It's cleanup time.
Yes, sir. Azrael down to 172 hit points. Silent Demise moving on up in that T-32. It's just such a beefy tank. There is a T-69 and an AMX 5100 left on the field. They know where both of those tanks are. Now lining up shots on Revenant. One big shot is going to put him in half health of what he was. And down he goes. The 5100 goes as Revenant is the last one. And he gets taken out. They have 5 minutes and 47 seconds to take out every single T1. Guys, I think they're going to be able to do it.
I think they can do it as well. The only one T1 with 3 hit points left. He could sneeze wrong and his tank will explode here. And it's going to be a search and destroy for him, or they're going to go for the flag cap. I'd rather go for the flag cap if I were them. Why chase around? And this will be it. This will be another victory for Cunninghams. I have to say Countess was the VIP in that.
It was so funny as you say that. Countess got himself stuck getting off the hill. He was stuck on a little rock, and I zoomed in on it for a second there. And he's just sitting there wiggling. He's like, "Oh gosh darn it, I'm stuck," and he's like completely out of the fight for the end there. He's not able to do anything to help with the T-69 to the 5100s.
Well, he did his job, and that's
He-
just fine.
And after that, he can make all the mistakes he wants, right?
Exactly.
SBM Hawk knows it's over. He's just going to wait until the victory. Oh, no, he's not. Commander J's going to move in and get the kill here. 48 hit points left on him. Wow.
See,
Very
Commander
nice.
and Jay and I share the same passion for padding our stats. That's what I would do. I'd be like, I'm
okay.
getting the extra kill, baby.
That shot ratio. Well, good job to Cunninghams.
And burn all empires do not disappoint. Let's take a look. A YAG Panther 2 going to be taken in here at 1390 T32 IS-3 and a 5100 Rainbow style, as I like to say. On the other side, oh wait, no, that's the Cunningham.
Yes.
Yeah.
What the heck? I'm sorry, guys. I had a stroke. On the other side, Burn All Empire is going with the much more, the much more standard style. A 5100, 2 T69s, and 2 1390s have a lot of mobility, a lot of versatility. I guess not nearly as much versatility as the Cunninghams have. Bringing a YAG Panther 2.
And
why a YAG Panther 2?
So much damage.
Well, yes.
And the faraway distance play they can play for any of those tanks that do poke around the hills or the rocks, completely punishing them, which could allow a better flank position for the rest of the tanks.
I'm still just blown away by
Wow,
that choice,
Comp's taking
but
hits
yeah.
in his T-32 from the west.
G-Forcer is able to get some shots against him and his 1390. Will back away, maybe get a reload
Oh,
here.
another shot. Be careful. Yeah, definitely coming out from the west side.
That's coming from Zone Delta 94 and Joe Jack along with Revent. And those T-69s along with the 1390 landing some shots against them. Good pincer attack coming around those rocks and then backing up. The guerrilla attacks is going to be necessary for Bernal Empire since they have their backs up against the ropes. In battle number 3 here, Cunninghams is up 2-0. Another win for Cunninghams will mean a match victory for them. And now we're seeing some of those heavy tanks from the blue team, from Cunninghams, push a little bit closer to the east side of those rocks.
I feel like it's going to be hard for the Cunninghams to really do something from here. I mean, losing a lot of damage on that T-32 on top of that, having that Yak Panther 2 that, yes, we were talking about damage, but what are the positions that you really want to be contesting in terms of just spots on the map that are going to be advantageous? And I feel like all of those are going to be given up already. Having that center, having the, even though, well, I guess it's not reasonable to say having the west side, but having that center at least is going to be the one the most important things, and they're not able to really combat that at all because the Yak Panther 2 still needs to take the east side.
Yeah, and at the same time, Cunninghams are playing a very defensive stat. They've got a Yak Panther 2. They're not playing him in a highly mobile position. They're practically putting him in the back where an Artie would belong. And he does have some cool lanes of fire, which, as you just saw, punished a 1390, taking him down to half health. That is, 2 shots from a Yak Panther 2 will kill just about everything, except for that 5100 from the from Bernal Empires. It's an interesting setup from Cunninghams, and it's going to be so difficult for Bernal Empires to break this. They're going to have to play highly mobile, but even if they do that, they really risk exposing themselves, even if they push, for example, the west side, which is relatively open right now, but could be covered within 10 seconds by 3 members of the Cunninghams, this Yak Panther 2, a T-32, and an IS-3, all very close to the west side. They could get on the cliff, destroy anyone down below.
Is this ever a position where bringing the Yak Panther 2 just never, ever, ever wins you the game, but it draws the game?
It's more, I think this is more like a strat you play for the draw. They know they have 2 up, so a Yak Panther 2 is so hard to push into, especially at this range. I mean, try to close the distance. The Yak Panther 2 is going to get 2, and he's going to be on his 3rd reload by the time a 1390 closes from, let's say, D5. In the time it takes for a 1390 close from the distance from D5 to get to this Yak Panther 2, which he needs to flank the Yak Panther 2. He can't sit there and trade shots. It won't work out very well for him. He can, kinda, but it's not going to work out very well.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, it's all really, really tough, I think, to especially on this map where you do have a lot of lanes of fire to close in on the Yak Panther 2. I'm trying to think of different ways, but it comes with the Cunninghams really putting themselves out of position.
Well, this
right?
is
Like
the type
they
of
have to make the mistake.
Yeah, this is the type of setup I talked about earlier, right? You close down anything moving past those rocks, and that's what they've done. Now, Bernal Empires has adjusted accordingly. They have their 2 T1s pushing up on both sides of the flanks here for the rocks to see if any type of push is going to come in. Now, the eastern side is a little bit more open because now the push is coming in from the west side. And now we're going to see some of those T-69s moving across the way and going to get a lockdown on that T1. This is where the Yak Panther could shine, though, shutting down one of those tanks. And a shot does ring out. Revan gets hit, 614 at a 1350, less than half health. That is going to be bad for that T-69 if he does end up in any sort of engagements. But I like this push coming out from Bernal Empire.
And they need to do it fast, but clamping on the center now. And I do think that Yak Panther 2 is actually outside of draw range. No, he's not. Never mind. I lied. I was just kidding.
He's close enough to be seen here, but now we're seeing some back and forth play. Militant is able to take down, in his IS-3, the 5100, Azrael 90. But Joe Jack gets a revenge kill against Cops, and Commander J is able to get the kill in the 1390 against the T1. And Silent Demise trading shots back and forth. G-Forcer and his 1390 going to be turning away here and either trying to line up a shot against the Yak Panther or focus on Commander J.
It's still going to be difficult. I mean, this is a great position for the Yak Panther to be in because no matter what, it's going to draw these T-69s into some good crossfire. And also, Countess, he's going to get a shot off. And if it's on Revenant, that's a one-shot, one-kill situation. Oh, pushing down into him. And is it?
Oh!
No! Baby!
Beautiful play by Countess, waiting for that shot. Zone Delta does move in.
Does he have one more shot?
Is he clipping?
No, he's clipping!
Oh, wow.
Oh,
the Yak Panther lands another hit.
Wait, did he just hit
851
for
to
4 something?
1350,
Yeah,
256.
412.
Did he load HG?
Well,
no,
he would be an
no,
intelligent human being.
it was AP. Sorry, I don't know why I thought
Another
he
hit
also
rings
low.
out against him, but Zone Delta 94 is going to be reloaded. Oh! Here comes Militant 83 in the IS-3, 55 HP on the T-69. He's going to try to hide behind the rock, but the kill rings out. Nice play from Commander J. Militant 83.
And G-Forcer, he just burned to death, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do a clean sweep for the Cunninghams, bringing out the Yak Panther 2 and making it work. These guys are some smart swine.
I really like the play of this tank destroyer on Cliff. because you have big approaches coming from either side. This is not like Alley, where there's simple roads. You have a lot of backspace you can turn around. They allow for different flanks that can happen through the midway, through the sideway, and that Jagdpanther being placed that far away can land those hits, not to completely shut down a tank, but to do enough damage to rethink their strategy. And that's what happened on the west side for a while, but then they finally pushed down.
Yeah, I think after recognizing their opponent's position, Bernal Empire shouldn't have pushed. They should have realized that their opponent was playing for a draw. They weren't set up to do this, and they could have tried to do something, but it would have taken longer, and it should have been more eloquently approached, I think.
There's when it comes down to it, the positioning of the Jagdpanther 2, you will always have negative equity on that push in. There's not going to be a case where you're even 50% going to win that most of the time, because what the Cunninghams are saying is, I want you to push in and just make the mistake of pushing in, because I am so set up to play defensively. There's no way that you're going to be cost efficient going into this. You're losing too much health, and when you're running 1390s, I'm going to be able to isolate your tanks very easily.
Yeah, and the isolation is key on any map, but especially more the open maps, because you're more flexible with the isolation.
Yeah.
What we saw with Fulcrum, they try to isolate the tanks, but they got 2 huge rows of buildings next to them that they can't get out of, and then they got trapped.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get trapped, obviously, move in against any enemy. Let's go ahead and show that Jagdpanther play again with Countess moving down the side. You think, whoa, bro, you're in trouble. But no, the gun depression on the T-69's not that good.
Whoa. No tank has gun depression like that.
Gun depression not good. But look at how he focuses on the lower health tank. He is able to back down, gets the kill, and waits and continues to unload. And it's actually Militant 83 that gets one of the shots that reduces his HP to really, really low here.
Fantastic job there, putting his butt up against a rock so the T-69 cannot flank him. Now, because of that, the T-69 is forced to kind of try and do the little medium dance around a TD. This is the little dance you always see if you're a TD player.
Yep.
Other people trying to get on your sides, and once they're on the side, it's over. But we see this tank destroyer, fantastic job of keeping this T-69 at bay and just eventually completely destroying him.
That's why you need to track him. Track him down, keep him in place, and then go wherever you want.
Track him down, make him frown. That's how you do it.
Yes, sir.
That's how you do it. All right, let's take a quick break as we get ready for the next battle. Don't go anywhere. You are watching WGLNA. Stay tuned.